Human trafficking.
Forced labor.
Slavery. Sex trafficking.
Quote, invisible does not mean non-existent, unquote, anonymous.
Merriam-Webster defines human trafficking as organized human activity in which human beings are treated as possessions to be controlled and exploited, as by being forced into prostitution or involuntary labor. Human trafficking comes in many different forms. The two most common are sex trafficking and forced labor. It is the third largest international crime industry, bringing in a profit of $32 billion every year.
What many people think of when they hear the word human trafficking is third world, unindustrialized countries, poverty-stricken villages, and people who no longer possess hope for a better future. To be more specific, girls being stolen from their homes and being made to perform immoral acts for the use of another's will. While this is all true, this is only a small portion of what human trafficking is, where it happens, and who it applies to. Between 14,500 and 17,500 humans are sold into slavery each year in the United States alone. 9.5 million men and boys are bound into forced labor, compared to the 11.4 women and girls. Young ladies are not the only victims of sex trafficking, but boys are included in this appalling crime as well.
A young 15-year-old girl from Mexico named Maria was promised a well-paying job as a housekeeper for a family in California. Instead, the woman who offered her this job sold her to an unmarried American man for $200. For 5 years, she was raped, beaten, and forced to clean for up to 20 hours a day. After that period of time, she was freed from this trade when her boss was murdered. Instead of receiving freedom, however, she was held responsible for her boss's death. Maria served more than 22 years in prison for a crime she had not committed. Rather than becoming bitter because of this, she has been an active member of the Survivor Advisory Caucus at CAST since 2003. She's also acted as a media spokesperson and conducted multiple newspaper and television interviews to increase awareness of human trafficking. So how can you make a difference?
Some things that indicate a trafficked person are: appears underfed or shows signs of repeated exposure to harmful chemicals. The individual is not allowed or able to speak for themselves. Another person is always with them to translate or to talk for them. They show signs of being abused, physically restrained, or confined.
If you suspect a person is being trafficked, call the Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888. Let's spread the word that slavery still exists today.
And remember, invisible does not mean non-existent.